Yo, what's good everyone? In today's video, I got you guys a banger, man. This is how to defend yourself in a fight, especially for beginners. Let's get straight into this without wasting any more time. Let's go. The first thing I'm going to teach you before we actually step into the defense mechanisms and everything like that is I'm going to teach you guys how to hold up your guard first, because if you haven't got your guard down and haven't got, the technique correctly to hold your guard up, then there's no point of learning defense because you're just going to get hit in the face. So I'm going to teach you guys quickly how to keep your guard up. Well, first of all, there's many ways of actually keeping your guard up, but the most simple way and what most boxing clubs teach you is going to be this. So you start off by keeping your hands up like this, right around your jaw area. Some people hold it a little bit higher to the temple to protect it, but I keep it around here, around cheekbone level, and slightly raise your shoulders, but not too much to the point where you're like that. So slightly raise them up, and as you can see, you got your guard ready. I was going to say nothing simple. Nothing difficult. It's very simple. Keep your guard up just like that. It should be natural as well. You shouldn't have to think about how you're holding your guard. Just bring your hands up to around your cheekbone area and slightly raise them shoulders. So as you can see, if I'm punching like this, my shoulders are too far down, I'm going to get hit in the face and hurt. If my shoulders are slightly up, when I throw the punch, I'm slightly protected in my jaw area as well. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but you want to make sure protected the most possible as possible. I'm turning into them freshies, bro. I need to actually start reading books and stuff. But anyways, let's get straight into the defense. All right, cool. So the first thing I'm going to teach you for defense is the block. The block is probably the most simple defense part because it doesn't require too much movement. And it's very effective at protecting you as well, because this is one of probably the best defense out there, especially when it comes to hooks hitting your face. And if you can't move out in time, this is going to help you a lot. So I'm going to show you what the block looks like in fast speed, then I'm going to slow it down and break it down for you. So this is what a block looks like. So your opponent is throwing punches at you. This usually happens when your opponent throws hooks, because with straight punches, you don't usually block. Let me show you. So the block, just like that. As you can see, I'm not doing too much movement. What I'm just doing is I'm raising my hands from my guard up like that. And I want to make sure that my arms close together so it closes the surface area so that the punch has a less chance of getting through this. So instead of going like that, you want to make sure your arms are closed a little bit, just like that. So just like that, as you can see, you're blocking. Now, don't do this when your opponent throws straight punches at you, because if he's throwing a straight punch at you and you do that, it's just not worth it. Because for straight punches, you're going to want to parry, and I'll show you that later on. But when the opponent's throwing hooks at you, make sure you're practicing this. Block, block, jab, block. Practice this when you're shadow boxing as well. Get your blocks out there. Let's move to the next one. Now for the second defense, as I spoke about in the first one, for jabs, you don't want to block. But now, when it comes to your opponent throwing jabs at you, what you want to do is you want to parry or pat, however you want to call it. I call it a pat, but some guys call it parry. But anyways, this is how it goes. Like, your opponent throws a punch, and what you do is you pat it down or you parry it, but you want to make sure when you're patting that punch, you're not putting your arms too far out and raising it down. What you want to do is, when they throw the jab, you slightly move your head off center guard while your hand pats their punch down out the way or parries out the way. So just like that. It's simple. You don't want to overdo it and make sure you throw all your momentum out there, because what's going to do, if he feints you, for example, and your hand's here now, and he's going to hit you in your face and you're out cold. So what you want to do is just slightly pat. Just like that. It's simple, bro. I'm telling you, you can practice this right now and you're going to find it very easy. So make sure for the two drills I showed you, the block, start shadow boxing while doing it, and pat as well. So pat. Do it, bro. It's very simple. Let's move on to the next one. I'm excited for this one. This one's my favorite one, the slip. The slip is also very simple, because I'm telling you right now, defense in boxing, when you do these drills, these ones I'm teaching you, it's actually very simple to get down. But the hardest part is actually doing it in sparring. But the good thing is, when it comes to slipping, I personally think slipping is the easiest thing you can do in boxing. It is so easy and so efficient and so simple. And it works very well because it defends you properly. I've got many videos out there on my social media of me doing slips. I've mastered that shit nicely, I can't lie. But anyways, let's get straight into it. So to slip, you usually slip when your opponent is throwing jabs or crosses at you. You don't usually slip when they throw hooks. So say your opponent is throwing straight punches at you. What you want to do is, you want to slip just like this. As you can see, I'm not moving too much out the way to the point where I'm like this. But one thing you can do to slip easier, I'm going to move back to show you, is don't just slip like that. You want to actually use your feet to slip as well. Not many people talk about this tip, but I'm telling you, this one is what I always do. I'm going to put a clip up of me slipping, and you're going to see what I mean. I'm also using my feet slightly as well. So as you can see, I slightly stay on my tiptoes while slipping so I can do it quicker. So I kind of twist as well at the same time. So it's like, as you can see, my legs moved a little bit. And again, I move a little bit. Again, and again. Because if you keep doing this, you can do this quicker than if you're doing it with your feet planted like that. That wastes more energy. So practice the slip. So just like that. It's very simple. Next one. Let's go. All right, I'm not going to lie. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's going to be worth it because this one is the one you need to get down before you get hit by a hard hook to your face and get knocked out. This is the roll. Make sure you get the roll down correctly because if you don't, you're probably going to get hit by a hard hook in the face and you don't want to end up like that. And I'm not going to let you end up like that. So that's what I'm teaching you right now. So let's get straight into the roll. The roll is very simple actually, but it does look a little bit complicated because of the movement, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible for you. So you do the roll whenever your opponent is throwing hooks at you. Not when they do jabs at you or crosses, only with hooks. And you'll see why in a second. So when your opponent is throwing a hook at you, they're doing this. They're trying to get around you. So you can't slip it because it's still going to hit you. So for hooks, what you want to do to counter it is roll. This is how you roll. As you can see, it might look a little bit confusing what I'm doing, but I'm going to explain it to you easily and simply. So to do the roll, what you've got to do is slightly bend your knees for this one because you're going to be squatting down a little bit. But with your hips, make sure you move down as well. So don't forget that. Don't just roll with your body. What you actually want to do is you want to come down a little bit in like a U motion. You see the letter U? And that motion is how you want to do it. So just like this. Just like that. It's a lot easier to roll on the side of where your front foot is than the other side where your back foot is. I'll show you why. So if you want to do a back foot roll, it's the same thing, but I recommend taking a step out because it's a little bit more difficult. I'm going to show you when I go back a little bit more. So if I want to do a roll with my front foot, you can see it's a lot easier because I'm already here. On my back foot, I have to step out a little bit. But make sure you get them both down. So this is the roll. Now, if you want, you can also add your counters back to it. You can roll and give him the hook that he missed on you. That's a violation. If he misses a hook and you roll and give him a hook back, he's going to be angry at you. I'm not even going to lie. He's going to be embarrassed. So make sure you get the roll out and practice it. It's pretty simple, even though it looks a little bit difficult. It's in a U motion. Don't slip with the roll. Make sure you actually roll in a U motion. So you see, bow. Practice that, bro. All right, cool. This next one is also very good. Not many people actually talk about this defense, but it's not the step back. It's the lean back. I'm not talking about purple Sprite. I'm talking about boxing leaning back. I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, what you want to do is just slightly lean back. But make sure your hands and your guards are still up when you do this. Don't keep your hands down like that. Just like this. I'm going to show you guys a clip of how I did it in one of my sparring sessions so I can show you how it looks when you do it in a spar or in a match or whatever so you guys can get a gist of when it's best to do it. I like doing this when I'm on the ropes and I want my opponent to come to me to throw a jab so I can lean back and then come in with a cross again. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. So the way you want to do this is you're not going to want to use your legs too much. What you want to do is just lean your body backwards, but make sure your feet are still planted firmly on the ground so you don't lose balance. So just like this, you lean a little bit forward to make sure you lure them in a little bit to come into you. So you might want to do this, then just lean back like that. Now when you lean back, make sure you always come in with the counter. It's better to come in with the counter. So just like this. Simple, bro. You don't even need to practice this that much. It's so simple. Because most of you American fighters out there, you guys love your leaning back. You guys love leaning back. So this one ain't even going to be hard for you. But make sure you practice it regardless. Let's get on to the next point. All right, and lastly, for the last simple defense, this one's also a little bit complicated, but when you get it down, it's going to be very simple. I'm going to show you how it looks in full speed, and I'll slow it down for you guys. This one is the step back. This is what a step back looks like. Don't do what I did on the last part. I dropped my hands a little bit. Learn from my mistakes as well. Not just your mistakes, learn from mine as well. As you can see, I dropped my hand there. I would have got caught there. So make sure your hands are up when you do this as well. So just like that. The step back, all you want to do is kind of similar to the lean back, but instead of leaning back, you're stepping back. Now, the way you start the step back is with your front foot, you want to push backwards so that your back foot lands as well and plants on the ground. So just like this, as you can see, my front foot shoots backwards and my back foot's here. You're basically taking a big step back so that you create space with your opponent. he might want to come in again. So what you can do is this, same as the lean back. You could step, come in again, because they're always going to come forward to you. So make sure you practice that. It's actually very simple to get down. Now, before I wrap up the video, I want to let you guys know my home boxing program is currently 50% off right now. If you guys want to learn how to box at home with no equipment needed, no heavy bag, no boxing gloves, just shadow boxing at home, make sure you go get the home boxing program while it's 50% off right now, and you guys can learn how to box at home efficiently. It's a lot better than these videos I'm teaching you on YouTube, but I'm trying my best to still teach you on YouTube. So for the guys that can't afford it, you're still getting some value from here. But if you want the full value, make sure you get the home boxing program while it's 50% right now, because I'm going to bring the price up again soon, because it's been 50% for a while. So thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I do appreciate every single one of you. We're so close to 100K as well. We're like 6K off. So sub to me. Let's hit 100K, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. Make sure you guys stay safe.